Hey, this is Scott, and today I'm going to talk about my impressions of the Godox AD600. So I made kind of a leap of faith. I sold off my Elinchrom strobes to move over to the AD600 system. And maybe a while ago it might have sounded kind of crazy to sell off a name brand, a well-established name brand strobe, to move over to something a little bit more new. But for me, I want to talk about why this was kind of the smartest choice, not only budget-wise, but just features-wise, and why this is working out so great for me, where my Elinchrom strobes were falling a bit short. So one of my biggest complaints with the Elinchrom strobes were that they were big and heavy. The ones that I had were the Elinchrom ELC Pro HDs, and they were great strobes. They worked really well, but they were big and heavy, and it made them a little bit cumbersome to bring from place to place. And I do a lot of shoots in different locations, so being portable is kind of useful for me, and they just weren't really that. There are other strobes from Elinchrom that are more portable. There are ones that work with battery packs, which the ELCs don't. There are also ones that are HSS compatible, which the ELC Pro HDs are not. But this has all of that packed into one strobe, so I can kind of get a nice studio strobe when I want it to be a studio strobe like that. But it also can work as a battery pack together with this lighter flash head, and you can carry this around in this little bag on your shoulder, or put it on the light stand to kind of weigh it down. And it can be easily used as an outdoor strobe, and this has HSS. They also do have a TTL version available, but it covers all of those bases for me, where the Elinchrom, I'd kind of have to get a different system for different purposes, which of course is a good thing, but for me, just this really was a most well-rounded solution for everything that I wanted out of a strobe. I had my eyes on the Profoto B1 as well, which are of course more expensive, but very well established with a very good reputation. But those two are a bit more heavy, and the battery on this works almost double the amount of time that the Profoto B1 does. So, again, for, of course, budget reasons, but also just practicality reasons, this once again was a better solution. The flash itself here is not, exactly small or light. But again, you don't have to use it like this. You can use it together with this extra head, which is separate. You have to buy separately, but I think it's very worth it, because then you can get the weight out of here, put it in this bag, carry it around, or put it on your stand to kind of weigh the stand down, and then you have this very light flash head, which you can either hold in your hand, or if you're putting it out on a boom pole, you want to keep the weight as light as possible. So it's very useful for that. And probably this is the way that I'll be using it most of the time, because it's just worked out so great. Of course, you can use this together with the new Godox Xpro trigger, which is one of the best flash triggers out there. I've done a couple reviews on that. But with that, it's effortless to go back and forth from high-speed sync to regular shooting. And I did another photo shoot with this the other day, and this battery is just amazing. I brought two with me, but I didn't even come close to needing it. I did probably over 500 shots, and I was using a lot of high-power flashes, but also a lot of high-speed sync. Again, the recycle time on here was really great, and also when I came home and checked the battery, and it still said that I had full power on the battery level indicator. So I could have gone on shooting for a much longer time, and I really didn't have to worry about it at all. It was really just, again, I love equipment that you don't have to think about when you're using. It doesn't get in your way, and that's exactly what this is for me. On top of the versatility and usefulness, the quality of light from this is actually really great. It's pretty much on par with my Elinchroms as far as I can tell. And the build quality is also up there, or better than the Elinchroms also. Those are kind of plasticky considering the price and the weight, but this is really quite solid. So another cool thing that I liked about the ELC Pro series is that you could see the flash duration on screen as you change the settings, which was useful if you need to stop motion for kids running, or a dancer, or whatever purpose you have for stopping motion. It's just very useful to be able to see that right on screen. And these also feature that, which is really nice. This will show you the T0.1 flash duration, which is really useful, because that's a very good indicator of what your effective flash duration will actually be in terms of motion stopping ability. A lot of flashes will show you the T0.5 times, which is only the amount of time it takes for half of that light to be dispersed, which effectively is probably 3 times what your actual flash duration will be. So although it may look like you have a fast enough flash duration, in reality it might not be that fast in terms of actually stopping the motion or freezing the motion very cleanly and clearly. T0.1 times will tell you how long it takes for 90% of that light to be dispersed, which in practicality is pretty much exactly what you'll want to know in terms of motion stopping ability when it comes to your flash duration. I'm just going to plug this in real quick so I can show you some of these settings on here. So this is very, very easy to use. The buttons are all clearly labeled. The menu is just like a Speedlight menu. It's very easy to follow. There's not a lot of like deep menu diving like you might have to do with some other ones with weird coded options and stuff. It's very, very easy to use. Again, there are other videos that really go in depth to that, so I'm not going to bother with that here, but I just want to show you a couple of quick things. At minimum power, you can see that the T0.1 time is 1/10,000th of a second, which is a very good amount of motion stopping ability. As you go higher in power, that will of course decrease little by little. At full power, it's only 1/220th of a second, which depending on how much motion you have is not really going to be enough. But when you lower the power even just a little bit, it very quickly moves up to a very usable amount of stopping power when it comes to the flash duration. So I think this is a very good performance in terms of flash duration, and it's been very useful for me. You know, if you're a specialist in that kind of photography, then you might want something better. But for most people, I think this is going to be more than enough. The one thing that the Elinchrom ELC Pros did do better than this is that fastest flash duration is not at minimum power as it is with this, but kind of somewhere in the middle. But again, like I said, even in the middle or higher than the middle, this still has a very reasonable and usable flash duration. So I don't think that's much of a big complaint, just it's something to be aware of. Most of the functions you're going to want to be using are accessible with these buttons on the outside here. They're all clearly labeled. Probably most people are going to be controlling this from the Xpro trigger or some other flash trigger if they're still using the X1. But most of those things are going to be controlled from there. However, you will want to change the group possibly from here. But it's very easy to do just with the push of a button. So this whole interface and system is very, very easy to use. So I know this is not an incredibly detailed or technical review. There are plenty of those out there. I'm kind of late to the party, but I just wanted to give you more of my real-world impressions after using this and just, why I think this would be a good system to get into for quite a wide variety of people, whether you're, more advanced or beginner. Again, I said the same thing in my 8200 review, but if you need more power than an 8200, then this is the one to go for. And you can actually combine, they have a different flash head where you can combine two of these into one little flash head that will have just an insane amount of power. So if you are looking for more power, this is the way to go. They do have also a TTL version, so it's a little bit more expensive, but if you do want TTL, even in this larger power flash, you can do that, which is really cool. Again, all of this works together with the Godox system, the Speedlights, the 8200, and now this guy. So it's just, again, as I said in that 8200 review, a very well-rounded system. It just depends on how much power you want, basically. If you want more power, get it. I really highly recommend it. It's just really opened up a lot of effortless situations for me that the Elinchrom ELC Pros, no matter how good they were, did not provide. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them down below and I'll be happy to get back to you. And also be sure to check the description for links to this if you want to purchase it, or the flash head or anything else here. If you like this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.